A 4-day workweek pilot study in the UK was so successful, most companies in the experiment decided to keep the shortened week. And the benefits were more than just an extra day to run errands or lounge around. 60-plus UK companies that took part in the study say productivity and profit increase. Joe Mull is a HR veteran, the author of Employalty. Get it? Employee and loyalty. I love combined words. He joins me now this morning with more about why this study and this trial run was so successful. Good morning.
Good morning. Great to be with you.
Good to have you. So explain the psychology behind this and why and how workers are able to do the same amount of work in less time and often with better results.
Yeah, it sounds a little counterintuitive, doesn't it? But the couple of things that are happening at the same time here. When organizations move to a more condensed amount of hours in a smaller amount of time, one of the first things they have to do is figure out how to be more efficient. And so we're seeing a kind of trimming of the fat, right? Are these meetings absolutely necessary? Is this travel absolutely necessary? Are there certain projects or aspects of our work that are nice to have but not need to have? At the same time, we also see teams and supervisors getting clearer and getting more intent on how are we going to measure performance and productivity. And then the other thing that seems to be happening here that's really interesting is we're supercharging commitment. When my job fits into my life in an ideal way and I'm able to attend to more things outside of work, I tend to be a little bit more devoted at work. So all of those things bake into the pie together to make it so that we can actually be as productive, if not more, in a shorter amount of time.
And I imagine those are some of the reasons why a 4-day work week is giving a lot of companies a competitive advantage when it comes to retention and hiring new people. Talk to us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we've seen over really the last 10 plus years, people more frequently voluntarily changing jobs. And when you drill down into the data around what's happening, people are looking for upgrades in their quality of life, right? For years, some people have had more work than they can handle, or they're not making enough money, or they're struggling to balance the demands of life outside of work with trying to make a living. And so at a time right now when there are more jobs available than there are people to do them, finding ways to stand out as an employer and to give people back a little bit more quality of life absolutely provides a competitive advantage. That's one of the reasons these 4-day work weeks are being talked about so frequently nowadays, is because that's a pretty obvious and transparent way to say we want you to have a job that doesn't take over your life but fits into it in a better way.
So it all sounds fantastic. Productivity goes up, profit goes up for the bosses as well. So why do you think so many leaders are not so apt to try this out, try this practice?
Well, old habits die hard, don't they? And I think that we sometimes think that if we're going to condense work into a smaller period of time, that means that maybe we're open less or we're not serving as many customers. And that certainly doesn't have to be the case. You can have a staggered staffing model on top of a 4-day work week. It may just change your staffing levels, and it may just create more opportunity for people to rotate into schedules that make the most sense for them. The other myths that sometimes get in the way is that people are going to do less. And as we just talked about, when you actually embrace this approach, people are working less, yes, but they're working smarter, and you actually see that productivity in a lot of places either stay the same or go up.
Absolutely, Joe. So when I have my conversation with my boss in a couple of seconds, can I call you? Can you plead the case for us?
Happy to have the conversation. I've got your back.
You are awesome, man. The book, again, is called Employalty. Joe, appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for breaking it all down.
Thanks for having me.
All right.